Good morning, Tony from Hearns here with something special today. Now you're just looking here going, that's just an RS2.0, we've seen that before. And in fact, you've seen this car before. This is the car that I built for our customer Jeff Biggs. It's still here at the moment, waiting for us to finish a couple of things off. It needed some more electronics. That's in now, so that'll be going home to Jeff soon. But when I was building this, a thought came to mind. Now that's pretty rare for me for a start. And I thought, gee, this is a great little car. I'm a big fan of the RS series. I have an RS1.0 myself. That's my main four-wheel drive touring car, and it's a great car, really, really good, and comes in at a budget price. Same with the 2.0. In fact, this is a sub $300 car, and that's a bargain in anyone's language. Anyway, sometime in the next, I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks, we're not entirely sure yet, the MS 1.0 front-wheel drive will be coming out. So that's the Yokomo front-wheel drive based on our premier touring car platform, the MS 1.0. I think it's going to be, I'm not sure whether it's a 1.0 or a 2.0, because there is a 2.0 coming. I think it'll be a 1.0F for front-wheel drive. And I'm a big fan of the front-wheel drive class. I can tell you that now. I quite enjoy it. Now, in the past, I've run other cars. I've run Express, I've run ARC. I'd like to drive a Yokomo, but I don't really want to spend the amount of money for a Premier chassis. I just want something that does the job for me and doesn't cost a fortune. So I got to thinking, and I ran it past the adults here at Hearns, saying, I've got an idea. And they said, that's a good idea, let's try it. So I put this stuff off to the side of the table, and I'll be back, because I haven't gone far. This is the RS 2.0F. This is a front-wheel drive car based off the RS 2.0 chassis. So it's the four-wheel drive chassis, but with some modifications to make it more suitable for front-wheel drive. I thought most of the top line front-wheel drive chassis now are basically converted four-wheel drives. So why can't I do it here? That's what I've done. The body shell you're looking at is a Bitty Design CA45. Well, it's not called a Merc, but it is. So it's an A-class Merc AMG. Nice shell, looks good. I'm not sure actually what it performs like. I've never, because this hasn't been driven yet, and I haven't used one of these shells on one of my other cars, but it looks scaled. It looks like a proper car. I hate the squashed cars. I'm not going to name any names, but they just look crap. I want my cars to look decent. And it's got my my usual race scheme on, which is the different shades of grey and the big fluoro splashes in the cartoon style. You've probably seen this on a few photos around, and you've seen it on my cars before. So I'll be doing a how-to on this cartoon technique fairly soon. Could be a little while. I've got a few other things to do in the meantime. So you'll see how that all comes down, and you'll see how I do it, and it's surprisingly easy. What you actually want to see is what's underneath here. Let's take that off and get to the crux of the matter. Move that across. Here we have my converted RS 2.0. Now, before any of you wiring Nazis get up, say, oh, look at the wiring, it's all shit. Yes, it's not exactly the neatest wiring in the world. That's okay. It's been deliberately done like this just to get it up out of the way, because I'm not 100% sure on the final positioning of all the electronics. So it's all just in there. It's just done up with cable ties just so it's there. Once it's finalised, then I'll fix up the wiring and make it look all nice. So no wiring nutties. The first thing you can see is that there's nothing up the back here. I've moved everything as far as I can up here. This is the Hobby Wing Just Stock Speedy, which is the designated speedy for front wheel drive racing here in Australia. So I've moved that up on top of the servo to get it as far as I can forward, because getting weight forward is the critical thing on this. You'll also notice that there's there's no point putting that here, you can't see it on the overhead. Rear belt is gone. The rear diff has been pulled out, and because we don't need, obviously we don't need axles, drive shafts here, we actually pulled the drive shafts apart, so it's just the axle that's sticking through. Now, one thing you can just see in there, unfortunately it's all small and black, so it's very, very difficult. What's in here is a mass damper. Now this is only a 10 gram weight, but what it is suspended top and bottom with springs, so it is somewhat free to move, even though you can't see it, unfortunately. It will move. At the moment it's only got a couple of mil of movement. Now this mass damper was an option on the BD10F, which was the previous Yokomo front wheel drive model. The whole point of it here is that it has a little bit of weight to the rear end, but it's reactive, and the theory is that it's because it's able to move, it's able to dampen some of the effects of chatter and stuff and just make everything a little bit more stable at the back. Now, interestingly enough, on all of my front wheel drive cars, contrary to what most people do, I actually load the whole back up with weight. I put a whole heap of weight in here and to some extent here, usually about 80 grams, sometimes more. People, oh, you're adding weight. Yeah, I am adding weight, but it makes the back end of the car a lot more stable. You get more mechanical grip because you've got that extra weight there, and I think the extra grip and stability that it provides more than offsets the extra weight. And everyone that's driven my cars will go, oh, I can't believe how stable it is. Now, that suits my driving style, i.e. slow. But what I was hoping that this will do is provide the same sort of stability, but with less weight. I'm not sure. I've put it on anyway as an experiment. I'll try the car with that on first. I'll try it with the extra bit of weight like I normally run, and we'll just see what it does. So, but I like the idea. This, like everything else that I've put on this car, is a factory option. I'll be listing all the part numbers and everything in the comments when this video goes live. So you'll be able to know exactly what you need to order if you want to do what I did. So that's mass damper. The unfortunate thing is the springs we needed, we didn't have in stock. We had the mass damper, but not the springs. So what I've done is in the two springs I've used ultra soft front springs off a Yokomo RS2.0 12 scale. They're still a little bit stiff and a little bit long, so I'm going to need to experiment with that to get it right. Let's go back up to the front of the car, and what I'm pointing at here is another item off the BD10F. This is a nice handy little weight. Most of the front wheel drive cars have something like this on them. This is a factory option on the BD10F, so it's readily available. I think we've got a couple out in the shop still, and that is literally a 2-minute job. You pull the top of the bumper mount off, put that in, bang, whole heap of weight straight away. Really good idea. So they're two of the simple things that I've done. As I've said, speed controller is a Hobby Wing Just Stock with the 13.5 fixed timing. Servo, I've got a highest BLP 750, I think. I can't remember. It's my default servo on most of my cars. It just works, so that's good. Other things of note: the rear body post in the standard position will not go up to the height of a front wheel drive hatch TCR shell thing. They just at least that much too short. It doesn't work. What I've got here is standard front body post. This mount here is an alloy one meant for the MS 1.0 top line touring car. It's normally meant to mount it the other way, so it goes that way, so you can put horizontal body mounts. I tried it on this, but unfortunately the posts came out in such a position on the Merc CA45 shell that it was right on a difficult angle, and it just didn't work. So I played around with it a bit. I've got it like that. There we go. So it comes out here and it raises it just nicely so that it will reach the top of the hatchback shell. So that's good. That's all ready to go. Very solid. There's two fixing points so it doesn't move. At some stage I may consider making a brace to go between these. I think that could be useful, but at the moment I'm just leaving it like it is. The standard RS2 comes with the lowered shock towers and the short shocks, so you've already got a low centre of gravity. And at the moment the diff has been built with 100,000 weight oil. I didn't actually build this car. Tim Keeler, another one of the Hearns racing crew, put this one together because I'd already built two of these. I didn't want to build another one. So he built it, did a great job as he always did, and he defaulted to 100,000 weight because that's what we found was the best in our front wheel drive Tamiya Minis and MO7s and such like. So he's done that. But because we've now got a spare diff, spare and out drives and everything, I've built up another diff with 300,000 weight in, so it's like a 5-minute job to change that around. But I'm happy with 100,000 to start with. I suspect we'll find that we need to upgrade that a little bit and go a little bit tougher to get the pull out of the corners. Not sure. That's the whole point. We're going to try this and see how it works. Inside here we've got my Fly Sky Noble 4 receiver, and in this case it's an MRT transponder. I've got 3 or 4 of these that are all on the same number, so that makes life easier for me. Battery power, Team Coyote, 6,500 LiPo shorty pack. The shorty pack is moved as far forward as I can get it, so I haven't been able to weight this yet to find out what the weight distribution is. I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm actually quite confident that the car's going to work. I've got the standard gearing in at the moment. I just haven't had a chance yet to put in something. I really need something maybe 4.2 to 1, but I can change that later. That's not a big issue. It's a 5-minute job, so I will be doing that. Now at this time, it's a Wednesday morning. I haven't driven this car yet. I'm going to drive it on Friday night. I will debut it at my club, which is the Geelong Club in Victoria. Friday night racing, so we'll take it there. I won't be driving it initially. Tim will be driving it because he's able to push it a bit more than what I can. He's got the skills. My skills are long evaporated. So But by the time this video actually appears online, it's probably going to be a couple of weeks away. So you will get, or you will already have seen, the live shots from Geelong of the car performing. So by the time you see this, you'll already know how it went. At this stage, I don't know. I have a degree of confidence. I have a high degree of confidence. I think it'll work well. I don't think it's going to be as good as the MS 1.0 front wheel drive. That's been engineered with some other changes. I don't know exactly what they are, but that'll be a bit better. I just want this to be available for the person who says, I'd really like to have a run at front wheel drive, but it's a bit expensive to do that on top of my other normal racing. This is the way I think you can go. This car retails at just under $300. I think you could do most of the things that I've done here for like maybe an extra 100. And at 400, if that's what it costs you, if you've got a semi-competitive front wheel drive car that you can have a bit of fun with, I think it stands to reason that it's worth giving it a run. So I'm looking forward to this Friday night. I want to see how this car goes, and I hope it rewards my faith with a good performance. No matter what, whether it's crap or whether it's good, you'll see it. So it will be live feed from Geelong on Friday night, and we'll let you know how it goes. Until then, I'm Tony from Hearns. This is the RS 2.0F.